Welcome to the last video in the childhood trauma trilogy of Kingtober, but second to last video of Kingtober proper. What? Did you really think I was gonna let this series end on an odd number? That'd be awful. And gay's story right here is not a creepypasta. Well, its origins do not come from creepypasta, but there's still creepypasta about. I'm counting it! This comes to us directly from Sega themselves. And for the designers responsible, I'm gonna need you niggas to count your fucking days.
Too much fighting on the dance floor.
The only thing in the trilogy that I actually remember scaring the shit out of me, like beyond being a little unsettled, like I knew the other two were scary, but I wasn't scared of them. I was fully convinced that the Tails doll was coming to kill me and me specifically. Ow! Which is funny because I didn't even play the game he's from. I think the worst part about it is that I couldn't tell my mom the fears of the Tails doll because I didn't want her to know I was looking up shit on the internet that I shouldn't have been. Like, I shouldn't have been looking at this scary shit. If I told her I was scared of the Tails doll, she'd ask me where it's from, and then I'd have to tell her that I've been watching spooky, scary shit this whole time, and then I'm gonna get in trouble, and my mom's like, I don't want to get my ass beat. Oh, a bitch had to thug it out, and thug it out I did. I will say, I have always been incredibly productive about my fears. Ain't that right, Glacier? Sorry, Glacier had some statements. I've always been incredibly productive and proactive when it came to my fears. When I was little, when I was scared of the boogeyman and whatnot, I made little boogeyman traps where I'd make a mixture in a spray bottle and then spray a piece of paper with that mixture and then leave it out in trails leading to my bed as a boogeyman trap, because I convinced myself that I had the power to get rid of that. So what I did, having this fear, was I looked up if people had killed the Tails doll, and I found a video. I remembered so vividly. This guy like summoned him in the bathroom, because when you summon him, that's one of the things you're supposed to do. I'll get into the summonings. Don't you worry, don't you wait. The summonings will happen. When you summon him, you need a mirror present, so most people just summon him in the bathroom, and he claimed to have killed them, like, next to, like, a towel. Like, you see, it blew up in a puff of smoke, and that was enough for baby me to be like, okay, the Tails doll isn't coming to kill me because the Tails doll is clearly dead, and a random nigga on YouTube did it. Clearly. Being a kid is so crazy, because, like, that made perfect sense to my adolescent mind. That's so funny. Let's talk about the actual origins of the Tails doll. So this nigga was in Sonic Racing, which is so fucking random. And I made a short a couple months ago talking about how, like, what the fuck was the reason for the Tails doll. But, like, in the phrasing was less of, like, why is the Tails doll, and it's more like, why the fuck is that nigga here? I was mad, concerned, and scared, not confused. But people on YouTube Shorts have, like, negative IQs and or are children. They're like, well, cause Tails need it, because Shadow and not Shadow, Knuckles and Sonic have a robotic rival, so does Tails. They don't want Tails to be left out. And my thing is, like, if my choices were not to have a creepy doll of myself, or have one, I think I'd be okay with being left out. Like, I understand why he's there in concept. Why the fuck that nigga gotta look like that? Like, you couldn't have made a robot? You freak! What really fried me is, like, you Sonic Racing, this nigga a dog can't drive, and the nigga doesn't. He just flings himself around the around the fucking stadium and shit. Now what? Oh, don't piss me off. Oh, bitch, don't piss me off. The worst part about this freak is that, like, they knew that nigga was scary the whole time. They knew that nigga was scary the whole fucking time, because look at this render for him. Official render, by the way. Officially. You got it in the game somehow. I don't know if all characters get rendered, but I've seen this nigga. I wonder why. Niggas was traumatized. Sega. I need you to bring me the designer responsible so I can remove a battery from every single remote they own and then turn their furniture 90 degrees. You pissed me off. You pissed me. This nigga think clearly this shit is a game. Well, I mean, technically it is a game, but that's not the fucking point. That is not the forces to society unleashed a plague upon the internet. And people upon seeing this freakazoid were like, let's make freaky lore around this character. And right now, I will read to you my favorite summoning ritual for the Tails doll. One thing of all summoning rituals, at least on this wiki, don't trust everything a wiki says, especially if it's a fandom wiki. They always end with like, when it appears, it'll give you a choice. Serve it or die. And my thing is, I'm black. I serve no pony but myself. So I will be doing neither such thing. But also, why would you summon the Tails doll? It's not like the Tails doll can do you any favors. Or like, it's not like one of those demons where it's just like, I can tell you 3 truths, but if after you ask more than 3 questions, I'll kill you. Like, no, the only thing you get when you summon this thing to you is a choice to serve it or die. So the only people who would summon it are either very creative about their suicide attempts, or want to serve a ragdoll, which is... it's bad to kink shame.
Hey!
All the other summonings require you to 100% Sonic Racing, which is not nearly as funny. I will be reading this bar for bar.
So that was a fucking...
This is how you summon the Tails doll without fucking 100% Sonic Racing, and this is also the one I remember. Wait exactly until 11 p.m. Go into a dark bathroom. So specifically, oh, okay, I thought it was dark room, any dark room with a mirror. Anyways, go into a dark bathroom with a mirror. How many bathrooms have you been in without mirrors? Then lock and close the door and block the windows. Play or sing one of these songs backwards. Can You Feel the Sunshine? Can You Feel the Sunshine Acid Remix? And Living in the City. If you're playing a song, try to sing along, as that makes it more effective. After the song ends, wait a few moments. If you are unlucky enough to wait too long, you will see the Tails doll float to you. Out of the mirror, he will give you a deal. Become his servant or die. If you're lucky enough to leave quickly, you will live another day. Rarely following this test, less rarely if you play the Acid Remix, the Tails doll will not appear. Instead, you will see a glowing red orb. If the light is turned on or shown on it, it will disappear. As it turns out, the light is the Tails doll's gem. If you see it, he won't come to you. He only watches you. He has taken a fresh, special interest in you. He's probably a pervert. Probably one of them pervert interests. Probably one of them dare pervert interests. Here's some more information that I thought was interesting after I looked it up. The Tails doll will ignore most people who do not perform a summoning ritual. However, the 7 pure souls are another story. They are forever watched by him, and may be attacked by him at any time. This is said because the Tails doll considers their souls more delicious. On rare occasion, you can outwit or defeat the Tails doll. It is not permanent. You will suffice for a time, but after a while, though, you'll run through a stroke of bad luck that slowly escalates. The Tails doll will appear to you. If you are killed outright, you will be offered the same deal. Servant or dead. I would like to believe that if I would have read this straight from the source, I would have stopped finding it scary. But it might have made it worse. Because, you know, it says the Tails doll doesn't come to kill people, but if I read that thing of the 7 pure souls, I had an ego. I would have convinced myself that had to be the truth. I'm glad I just found it, like, as is, because I was still finding this a little unsettling. I was fully convinced that the fucking Tails doll was gonna kill me. I was like,
not the
Tails doll.
not
The Tails doll.
not the bull.
Whenever people take something, especially like, and try to make something like scary, at least back in the day, in the modern age, they're doing a really good job. They ruin it. Everything from the Tails doll, like, canonically is scary on its own, but a lot of the media and fan art that I've seen doesn't actually portray it in its base level. They always try to edge it up. That ain't the Tails doll. You drew Tails and added the crystal. The Tails doll isn't demented because it's a doll that is of Tails. It's demented because it looks like Tails, but it's intentionally off. Part of the Tails doll that was so scary was that you don't know what the fuck this nigga's deal is.
Yo, who the fuck is this nigga?
That nigga just there. And for what purpose? Other than to piss me off.
And now for something completely different.
God, shout out to Friday Night Funkin' for giving Sonic.exe a resurgence. The Sonic.exe mod with like the Sonic that's long as hell. I know he has a different official name, but I'm not that much into the lore. I've just seen clips on the clock app. Enough about the pasta! Let's talk about my process. I don't know if it's noticeable, but every single drawing has the characters looking directly at the viewer, which whoever this guy is having the worst fucking week ever, man. It's especially important with the Tails doll because I think a good chunk of why I find that nigga unsettling is his eyeballs. They're so vacant, but also like not. I hate it. I want to throw this thing in a fucking blender. My original plan for the drawing was I was gonna do a bar for bar redrawing of the original render because they did him so well with that. They did that scary shit so well with that thing. I'm pissed off, but they did it so well, so I was gonna try to just emulate that, but I decided against it because I had given Jeff the Killer a whole scene. And that was kind of fun, and so I gave the Muffins drawing a whole scene, and I also, couldn't have the Tails doll be an odd one out, and I was lost for a little bit, but then I was like, oh, I feared this thing coming to kill me. I'm gonna draw this thing coming to kill someone. This drawing, out of the three of them, has the smallest use of whatever character I'm drawing, but that was on purpose. When you see it, it's too late. And I really like the way it came out. Like I said earlier, what makes the Tails doll scary to me is the subtlety of it all. It pulls all the punches and leaves it to your imagination. Not knowing what this little fucker is up to is the scariest part, because what if he is trying to kill me? Or what if he wants to do worse? Like feed me Arby's. Or feed me British cuisine, or force me to listen to British drill rap. Oh god, I can't do it, oh lord. Lock me in a room full of Swifties fresh after an album announcement. Oh god. The hardest part about this drawing was the room composition, because again, I don't draw a lot of background, so I'm familiar with trying to place everything in a way that makes sense proportionally to a regular house, and I still, to the very end, I'm not sure how I feel about that fucking door. But it's gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I can remove it because I'm so far in the process. Maybe I will remove it, maybe I won't. I probably won't, girl. I'm trying to grind out. I still got one more video after this one, dog, and that one needs 3 drawings, so I need a speed one. A little fun thing with the paintings in the hallway. My original plan for Kingtober was, instead of like having one concept and like drawing out having one drawing per video, I originally planned on having all 4 videos be different prompts. But then the prep time, as the time got closer, I realized I didn't really have time for all that, so I scaled it down so it could be practical, which honestly was the best decision, because that would have been a nightmare, and it would have crashed and burned for sure. Also, those are prompts I can use for next October, or just like next time. They're cool concepts, so I'm not mad at it. So, in that being said, I'm not gonna tell you what they are. I don't need anyone stealing my fucking ideas. I'll be damned. So I drew the original Frankenstein,
Adam,
the Wolfman, Dracula, Charles Lee Ray, and the other mother. The Charles Lee Ray and the Other Mother are a little less clear, same as Dracula, because that one's a little farther back, but I believe you might be able to see them in the speed draw. I record the things separate a little bit with the shading because I didn't want to overdo it or underdo it, because I wanted to make sure it was in the right amount of shadow. But again, I'm unfamiliar with shading and doing a lot of detailed backgrounds, so I don't know if it looks alright. I mean, I like it, end result. The only thing that's iffy is
The door.
and I continued to be like iffy about it up until I put the filters through IBS Paint. I went cuckoo bananas again. You could rip these filters from my cold dead hands. Please don't, I like them. But yeah, I really like the look of these. And I hope you do too. It kind of suck if you watched me draw this thing only to be like, this fucking blows. And if you think that, keep your opinion to yourself, fuckboy. Well, that's it. If you liked the video, If you really liked the video, give me the hype. I didn't mention in the last one, you should hype me up. And I like that button. Hit that hype button. I feel very millennial saying that. Hit that hype button, guys. But I need it. Well, I don't need it. I like it. Thank you. Please and thank you. This is the end of the childhood trauma trilogy, but not the end of Kingtober. No, no, no. I've got one thing cooked up for you because I like even numbers, and also there's 4 weeks in October. So keep a lookout for that. I would warn you, it gets a little supernatural, and not the one with the queer baiting. Everybody in that next episode is openly queer, so there's no need to worry about that. I'll see you very soon. And remember, I'm king, you're not. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye! Childhood trauma It is in poor taste to kink shama. Ow! Those people who do not perform a summoning ritual. Yeah. The D-O-R-E. The door.
Bow, bow.
Well! I love how you can always tell when I'm alone in the house because I'm loud as hell.